Yes, people, welcome to episode 2 of From the Ground Up podcast. Really appreciate the support on the first one we did. Absolutely going crazy, and today we've got an absolute beast of a guest. Straight out of the ring last night, so yeah, I'll hand it straight over to you, bro.
Yes, sir. Just fought last night. Massive opportunity, but yeah, blessed to do this, man. Yeah, guys, my name is Pouvalu Lafitani. I was born in Sydney and raised up here in Brisbane. Just started my first business, this sunglass brand called Wavy Shades, and man, it's been a hell of a ride, you know, and yeah, honoured to be here, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
So obviously you got Wavy Shades product here, bro, and fresh as, man. You got a bit of a range on there as well.
Yeah,
different countries and different styles.
Yeah, got some sport ones here, and yeah, I was doing a bit of running at the start of the year, and I just felt like, these were the ones, all those people running and athletes and stuff like that, this is a different kind of flavor. So I wanted to bring that to a product, and I'm happy it was with sunglasses, man.
You need them in the Aussie sun.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, for sure. Now, bro, and the thing that I want to jump in straight into is obviously it's an up and coming brand. You've got a big following as well, and it's just going on the upward from where it is at the moment. What made you get into Wavy Shades, creating your own product? What was the turning point for you, bro? Yeah,
creating my own product, it was definitely, big e-commerce, starters like Davey Fogarty. I started following him early and just knew that, if you create your own product, then, you put, hard work into it, it could be anything you want,
100%,
so
yeah.
I seen the kind of money he was making and was really inspired by it, so yeah, definitely wanted to make something of my own, and here we are. Yeah,
for sure. And you used to be a trader, you used to be a scaffy.
Yeah.
Obviously, pretty physical job in the sun and that, so trying to get out from that life, the tradie life, and try and build your own thing is most important, hey?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like us as Polynesians, us as Islanders, my parents, they feel like money is the most important thing, certain times. And, when I finished high school, I was sort of thrown into the deep end. My old man flew me to Perth to go get my scaffolding ticket so I could start making money with him. And, I didn't, it wasn't a dream of mine. It wasn't, something I was passionate about. And yeah, I feel like after 10 years of doing that I knew I had to do something else, and made all these moves so that I was able to build this business. And
absolutely, yeah. And you talk about making moves as well, bro, and I think starting, that's the hardest thing. And what was for you with Wavy Shades, what was the first thing that you did to get it up and running and make it what it is today? Like, what was that thing that you went, right, now's the time, and that's the first step? Is there a moment that stands out for you there?
It was definitely wanting to get out of scaffolding. I knew there was a product that I had, this dream product of putting these different nationalities and islands onto this product. So
for sure.
My first idea was actually different from sunglasses. It was a different product, but trying to source them from China was a lot harder, more expensive. So
for sure.
Yeah, one day I went to work and I was wearing sunglasses, and a lot of boys were asking me where I got them from, and they were just normal glasses. And then the idea came back to me on the way home, driving home, and I thought, I should put it on there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, easy. And where did the name Wavy Shades come from?
Well, there's a big Tongan rapper from America. His name's Young Go.
Young Go.
And he's, he's signed to Wave Records.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he uses Wavy a lot. He uses Wave. That's the Wave. And
just took some inspo from there, right? Yeah, man.
Favorite artists.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, it's quite a niche market. And but there is obviously a few other businesses that do sunglasses and they go in that tradie. But for the people, like, what would you say is the main point of difference for your sunnies and your business? Obviously, it's still growing. And it's, mate, like, compared to, you'd probably compare it to even where you were 6 months ago. It's a big change. But what would you say is the biggest difference from their product to yours?
Now, it's definitely showing where you're from, us as Islanders, and you know, even proud Australians or wherever you're from, you know, everyone loves representing where they're from. So I knew that bringing, you know, that to this product, sunglasses, has never been done before. And, you know, I wanted to be the first to do something like this, you know, in business and stuff. It's always better to be first.
Absolutely.
You know, so I wanted to show that. And yeah, just being a proud Tongan and, you know, being grateful enough to be raised here in Australia, I knew I had to bring that out to, you know, show that.
Yeah, for sure, for the people. And I want to go a little bit deeper on that as well, bro. Like with obviously the Tongan culture, there's obviously with social media and that, there's a lot more happening with the cultures coming in and taking off a little bit bigger. But what's the challenges you faced, bro? Like being being Tongan, being from Islander, like in Australia, what was the challenges you faced growing up, bro?
Nah, there was a lot of challenges. You know, us as Tongans, we're really big on culture. You know, you can't do certain things, you know, with your family around. You can't, it's a lot of, you know, Tongan culture because we're really driven in the church and, you know, really put God first in everything we do. We're really humble people. And yeah, I just felt like growing up here in Australia was difficult because while we're trying to be humble, there's people out there, you know, showing what they're about and they're getting real love and, you know, real support. So I thought, you know, I have to bring that side out of me as well. You know, I was raised here in Australia, you know. At the end of the day, my parents moved here for a better life for us. So,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I had to use that, you know. I was born in Sydney as well, and in Sydney it's, you know, shark, you know.
Dog world, yeah.
So I really felt like when I moved up to Brisbane, it was a bit slow, and I was actually grateful. Like, I feel like I brought that side up of me to Brisbane and had to show, you know, that I could bring it up here too. So
yeah, for sure.
All my family here doing it good down there, you know. It's
hold tight a lot in Sydney, yeah. Big family. Bro, with the design of Wavy Shades, so obviously you've got, like you said, you've got a few designs.
Yeah.
How did you go about designing? Was there a platform you used, or was there just bouncing ideas from other brands?
Nah, yeah, it was pretty much on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like we all do growing up in that Instagram. I was sort of alright with editing. I screenshotted a few glasses that I liked, and I'll just put the digits and everything on, you know, like the 676 or 685, and yeah, just wanted to really show, you know, because that's like pretty much everyone that represents where they're from. They carry their flag, they show where they're from. So I knew I had to bring that to these products. And at the same time too, man, my mother is actually a really big, you know, designer in a way. She designs a lot of Tongan costumes, and she's, you know, really authentic in that way. So I felt like I got some of that from her, you know.
Absolutely,
Yeah, gave me that side, so.
That inspiration, Yeah, for sure. And obviously with collaborations as well, of the people that follow your page, they'd see, you know, you've been collaborating with some pretty big names out there.
Yeah.
And obviously with the few big sales coming through, bro, what's that like? Well, what's your first sale like?
Yeah, nah, it's
crazy.
Crazy, man. It's honestly a big blessing, you know, in disguise. I feel like it's awesome now because in Brisbane there's a lot of big content creators.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
everyone's moving up to Queensland. Queensland's the spot,
place to be.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful, man. Like, you know, when I reached out to Javier, he's only up in Northside, and you know, I ended up reaching out to Nat Picking. He has a big following, and then obviously when I went down to Hood Contenders, all the Gold Coast boys showed up. You know, Adam Sullivan.
Yeah,
and man, from there it's just been
crazy.
Yeah, cracker, man. But yeah, really appreciate what Adam's done, man. He's helped me build my brand and, you know, helped a lot of followers join this wave. So
100%, man. And that's the sort of people, and for the people out there that want to get their brands out there, and it's just reaching out, isn't it? It's making that connection. And you even told me just before, like when you were doing the Hood Contenders and you were debating whether to go up and say something, and like it's just making that leap. That's really going to do it. With the numbers like the 676, all that, for the people that don't know, what's that?
It's just the island postcode. So when you look it up on Google, it comes up with that's where, you know, they're from, and it's always been a big thing. So put it on these, and it's been good, man.
Sick product, man. They are so clean, eh?
Nah, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. Mad. No, for sure. So, going into a bit of a mindset, bro, because your mindset is, different breed, you know what I mean? And you told me some interesting stuff before. Where did that mindset come from? Was it a growing up thing? Was it, where did you channel that strong mindset from?
It definitely would have been, the way I grew up. My parents, they were strict. My old man is, quite, he loves his drinks, he loves to get on it and stuff like that. So anything, that I did that was wrong, I'd get hidings and stuff like that. It was good in a way, teaching me lessons and stuff, but I really felt like at the same time, it held me back from my potential,
Absolutely, yeah.
I felt like growing up and having my own kids, I have 3 boys and honestly blessed, but they showed me that I can do whatever I put my mind to,
Absolutely.
And I felt like, living at home for, a long amount of years, I was quiet, put down from, my dad in a way, and I felt like now that I have my own family, it's my turn to shine. I can do, what I want to show my kids that, we're destined for more. So
100%.
Yeah, I really felt like becoming a father helped me step into that zone. Like, do I want my kids to, see me slave away for someone else or be my own boss? And
for sure, bro. And mate, your mindset is crazy strong, but has there been any times that you might want to touch on that you thought about giving up, or big struggles that you face with the business?
Yeah, honestly, it was a few weeks ago, me and my partner actually had something, just really it gets really stressful, and obviously having 3 kids under 4, we're not on the same page all the time, and it was really difficult trying to balance, business with family and stuff like that. And, I guess as a first-time entrepreneur, I wasn't really prepared for this, but I see a lot of the top entrepreneurs, they always talk about how starting's the hardest, but you learn from there and you just, keep getting better, and just hope to show, my partner and my kids that, I'm all in it for them, everything I do. And definitely, God giving me this drive and this, plan to purpose and things like that.
Absolutely. And just going back to the collaboration as well, like, with collaboration, and it's great to have influencers and stuff, but especially with the sports ones, bro, like they would be great for athletes and stuff like that. Is that something you'd be interested in? And where's it, where are you looking to branch into sport or something like that?
No, for sure, man. Definitely keen to collaborate with athletes and stuff like that. It's been a tough journey at the moment, trying to balance the business with kids, and obviously signing up to all these fights, Don't want to make excuses, but I feel like athletes, they're, they have their own things to worry about, and reaching out to them sometimes, it feels like a burden because they're on their own mission and stuff like that. So I felt like it was easier just reaching out to content creators because they're a lot more lenient with, their time and stuff. But athletes, they have so many things going on behind the scenes, and I just know it'll be easier to do with content creators.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely willing to reach out to athletes as well. And even last night, I ended up gifting a few to the fighters because I know, they're proper athletes, and, Wavy Shades is good to cover all them scars too. So,
cover a few black eyes. Mad. So what was last night for you? What was that like? We want to touch on that with the boxing, and obviously last night you had Hood Contenders last week. Was that last week?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Or 2 or 3 weeks ago. You had a few fights there. And then obviously you're back in the ring last night. How was that? What's the sort of process around that? And is there anything you do to get in that mindset, go to that place, eh?
Yeah, 100%. I've always been a massive fan of, combat sport. Everyone, if you, grow up anywhere, about Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, all of that, and just seeing the animals inside of them, and when they bring it out, you just imitate that in your mind. When I went into the fight last night, it took a lot of preparation. Obviously, it was a last-minute call-up, but I just feel like I know I have that beast inside of me, and that's what I wanted to show. You know, I went in there with my head held high and just knowing that, you know, whatever happens, I'm proud of myself, because
Absolutely.
I knew that when I was a young kid, this was something I wanted to do, and I got to live that out last night. So it was awesome, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
man, for sure, yeah. And that's the thing, and you never know where it's going to go. Like, you put yourself on the line and you get in front of some people that, you know, you want to get in front of. That's what you got to do sometimes. You know, you got to ask the questions, approach the people, you know, and that, like, last night for you was a bit of a last minute call up, like week's notice. Like, it's crazy. Like, what was you thinking when they, like, you reached out, or like it happened and you're like, I'm just going all in, eh?
Man, well, so I see Nana, the guy I ended up fighting, my opponent, Mikey. Shout out to Mikey, man. He's a real one.
Yo.
But I seen on his stories that the fighter he was meant to fight pulled out, and man, I just knew that this was my calling. You know, I knew IBC is about to take over in Australia and over the world. So I thought, why not step in there and have a go? You know, I feel like everything I've been through, you know, I've been through worse things sometimes, you know, and going in the cage, it was nothing to me, you know, like I feel like a lot of people are struggling out there and doing it tough, and I just wanted to show, you know, who I am and get in there and
For sure.
have a bang and
Make it happen, eh?
yeah, make it happen. And
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
Murray, the first.
That's crazy, man.
I know.
See you on the big
First
screen, eh?
Main event.
That's it. Nah, for sure. And you talk about just then on touching on people doing it tough. And the big thing for you, and a big reason why I personally reached out to you to get you on the podcast was, you know, on the website and on the socials, you obviously do contributions to charity.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a big thing for you and giving back. So your foundation is Top Blokes Foundation.
Yeah. Top
So
Blokes, yeah.
take us in there, bro. Like, take us what that's about and you know what that means to you personally.
Nah, sweet, man. Well, yeah, I actually used to do youth work. So I was doing that, and man, you know, the young lads that I used to work with, it was really sad to see what they go through. You know, they're not growing up with the best role models in their lives and have no one to look up to. And I remember just working with them a few times and just hearing what they had to say was really, you know, sad, you know, because I was blessed, you know, to grow up with both parents and have my father there and have a real role model. But for the ones that don't, you know, it's really sad. They go down a really dark path, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot of them end up, you know, locked up or doing stuff they regret, and even dead sometimes. So I really feel like us as men, we have to, you know, help each other, you know, because it's a really messed up world, you know, and if you don't use, you know, social media or those type of platforms in the right way, and you get mixed up with, you know, different messages, then it leads to a bad life. So
Absolutely,
definitely wanted to, you know, help the boys, and I was really grateful. Top Blokes wanted to, you know, step in there with me and back me with, you know, Wavy Shades, and it's been an awesome opportunity. And
so
really
for you,
grateful.
you're doing, is it $10 from every pair that's sold?
Yeah,
there you go.
man.
So get on this guy's
$10.
website, man, and then purchase some shades, because it's going to a really good cause, really good business as well. And that's the thing, is a lot of these big businesses, they wait so long to give back. You know what I mean? And you know, and they get real big exposure. But for you, that was a big thing of being so, you know, on the come up, and you're not waiting until you're huge. You're giving back from early. Like, is that part of the reason why you wanted to collaborate to give back as soon as you could?
Yeah, 100%, man. Because I only stopped working youth work recently, and man, it was honestly my last shift that I worked. You know, I had to go to their house, and they were living in the worst type of situation. You know, I knocked on the house that one of them was staying in, and opened the door. There was needles all over the floor.
Wow.
You know, drugs everywhere. It was a really bad place, and it really, you know, gave me that sense of gratitude of how lucky I am. But it was only because, you know, their parents and stuff couldn't do anything for them. So being able to link with Top Blokes Foundation was an awesome opportunity, because they're really out there helping young men that are in need and stuff like that. And man, they're really doing big things. You know, they have some really big players, you know, in their team, and it was awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. And as well being Movember, bit of November this month. So yeah, it's crazy that actually we spoke about that and managed to link up this month, because I think that is a big thing, and not even just in Australia but the whole world, especially men's mental health. You know, I think it's something like 600,000 men a year or something take their own life. You know, it's a real problem. So to be able to do that, man, yeah, hats off for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, with going into obviously the fighting you're in last night, and the mindset, is there things that you can take from the business world into the boxing world in terms of mindset and stuff? You know, having that strong mindset, eh?
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of things, man, but bro, to be honest, I can't really think. Like, my head's still a bit banged up. But yeah, it's sort of just that hard work, man. It really is a hard job, you know, being your own boss. You know, some people see the end result, but they don't see that grind, you know. And yeah, mainly the praise, you know, you get praise when you do good, but they don't praise you during the hard yards and stuff like that. And I just felt like, it came to building everything to now, it's been a really hard road, you know. And I felt like jumping in the ring, it wasn't that hard, you know. And I was blessed, man, like to verse someone like Mikey, and he's always, you know, showing me that respect. And we got to go to war last night, and it was nothing but love after. So it was awesome, man. But yeah, he's a businessman as well. He's doing his own thing in Sydney. You know, he's got a
shout out Mikey's business. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go on that.
Shout out, bro. And you know, someone like him, knowing that I'm gonna fight a business owner as well, was like crazy to me. You know, I got to step in there, and both of us, you know, in that same, you know, path, in that same mindset. Yeah. Just go out swinging, man. So it was...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. And being in the business world, obviously, it can be pretty stressful sometimes. You know, obviously, like you say, people don't see, you know, a lot of small businesses, especially, they work full-time jobs, and, you know, and then they'll do the business on the side. And, you know, you probably were the same. But obviously doing that, is that something that you'd tell the people to make that leap as soon as they can, or you know, build the business up to something that it can be sustainable? Like, what was that jump from you where you kind of went in all in?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on your situation. You know, I'm really blessed. I have my parents here with me still, so I had a lot of help, you know, with them and my partner as well. And it's been a really blessed situation. You know, I feel like our current living situation, we're living pretty well. And you know, when it comes to starting a business, you have to really be smart with your money. You know, it depends how you are with everything you're doing. I feel like I'm slowly taking baby steps into it, but when I did want to go all in, I felt like it was, you know, God's timing for me. You know, he opened up a lot of doors that weren't there before. And obviously the collaborations I was doing, it was just that getting, you know, that network and that confidence to ask and show people, because at the end of the day, I knew this product was something that's never been done before. You know, it has that potential to really take off, because, you know, when something's unique like this, it catches people's eyes, you know, and covers your eyes too. But
for sure. So do you find the boxing like a release from like business stress or, you know, life? Do you find it as a bit of an escape route for stress and things?
Yeah, to be honest, this was only my second one, but I would say it would be, you know. At the moment, I'm not feeling the greatest. I don't know about that, but I felt like I did have a lot of things going on, but at the same time, I knew, you know, this would have been televised, and it was helping me build my brand and stuff like that, you know. Whatever it is, you know, like you said, I wanted to go all in, and this was another step to go all in, you know. I knew I had to show who I am and what I'm about, and that was televised last night, so it was a big blessing, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure. And obviously, Wavy Shades it's on the upward, man. Like, it's going crazy. You're getting some really big names. Where do you see it going in the next, you know, 2 to 5 years? Is it something you want to take global? Like, you know, it's endless opportunity,
Endless, brother. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, my goal, to be honest, man, is, like the Olympics, man. I want every country on there, you know, like, it has that potential, and I know people love representing where they're from, you know. Why wouldn't you? So
absolutely,
yeah, definitely. You know, next year we have the World Cup for Rugby League coming up, and that's another big thing, because, you know, us
we love our footy and all of that. So
Yeah,
it
for
would be
sure.
awesome, yeah. And then for the Olympics to be here in Brisbane,
Crazy.
and then, representing Wavy Shades everywhere will be next
Dream
level.
come
man.
true,
Yeah,
eh?
dream come true
For sure, for sure. And obviously, have you got any new products that are coming out? Any new designs? I know you don't want to probably let too much go.
Yeah,
Have you got a
true.
few things cooking in the background? People can look forward to?
Yeah, there's definitely different designs, you know. I feel like these are the only sport ones, but there was another sport one that I really liked.
Yo.
But I haven't really looked into that too much. But yeah, look forward to that, guys, because if those do come out, they're gonna sell out quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'll link all your socials as well on the page. So yeah, click on, man. This guy's a full proper hustler, man. Like proper worker. I'll do a few quick rapid fire questions for you, bro.
Yeah,
so
sweet, bro.
you know, I've just got some questions that people want answering.
Yeah.
So I'll do a few like basically together. Give you them to answer. So, what's been the hardest part of building a business?
Oh man, yeah, probably. You know, if it wasn't for AI, ChatGPT, and stuff like that, it would definitely be the the Shopify sort of side to it. You know, because man, I've only really worked maybe 20 to 30 hours on there, but you need to do 100+ hours, man, if you really want it to be great. So I feel like, I know if I put more time into it, it would be a lot better than what it is at the moment. But just trying to, adjust from being a father and, hustler to
Balancing
doing
it all,
everything behind the scenes. I feel like
sure.
that's the hardest at the moment.
And what's something that you'd say to the people that any advice you would give them for starting their own thing? Any inspiration or
I feel like you just have to, whatever it is that you like, whatever dream you have of when you were a kid, I feel like you need to just go out there and ask the world, like ask people that you love or that look up to, if they would love to buy whatever it is that you have. I feel like I've always wanted to do something like this, and now that it's here and people are loving it, I feel really proud of that. But just go out there and chase your passion and chase your dream, because you only get one life, man.
Absolutely, man. You got to make the most of it. Hey, you never know when your day's going to be done. Hey, so if you got a dream, do chase it. If Wavy Shades had a slogan to describe its brand or personality, what would it be? You got any in mind that you just think like that represents it?
It was I sort of made one up. It was living life wavy.
There you go.
And it's just if you're not feeling the best, you can just live life wavy, guys.
Easy, for sure. For sure. And I've got some Instagram questions. So we put a bit of a thing up on the social media, if you didn't see it. A bit of an Instagram question, some bit more rapid fire stuff. So the first one is, what's your biggest dream?
Oh, definitely to help my parents retire. My dad's still working and my mum as well, and it's just sad, seeing them go out to work when they're, when I have something deep inside of me, just having that fire to, that's another thing that's helped me go all in, seeing them, struggling in a way and going to work and stuff like that. It makes me work even harder, work even later, But definitely to get them to retire and buy them and my family a house.
For sure. And what would be, and I've got another one, I don't know if you know these guys, but it's, would you ever collaborate with Bros and Cons?
Oh I think
always open to have collaborations,
Yeah, of course. They're down in Sydney, some Tongans as well, doing podcasts and that. And man, they pretty much grew up in the area I grew up in, so I would love that.
That would be sure. Cool. Yeah, man, they might have even put that question themselves. For sure. True. And if you could give someone that's in a bad spot, like we touched on top blokes mental health charity. If someone's in a bad spot, is your DMs always open for people to reach out, and you're big on the community and just really go back to that, about people supporting other people and like, where's that going to go for you?
No, 100%. I feel like, my DMs are always open, guys. Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, I feel like you got to look after yourself first. You know, it's easier to say than to do, but yeah, me and my partner have actually been on a really big health journey. You know, trying to get into the gym, stay in shape, keep that mind clear. You know, if the mind's not clear, then it's hard for you to really get to where you want to. You know, and I feel like, doing that and exercising, you know, multiple times, eating better, it really allowed me to give me that confidence to, you know, reach out to people to collaborate and stuff like that. Because, if your mind's not right, then, you know, nothing else will be right. So.
Yeah, for sure. And with the product, like, how did you reach out to like distributors, like in terms of like manufacturing? Like, was that reached out over online, or was there anyone big that stood out for you that, you know, you wanted to go to from the start?
Yeah, it was pretty much Alibaba, man. I went online, I hit a few suppliers up, and some suppliers got back to me that they couldn't do it and stuff like that, and I ended up coming up to this one supplier, and man, as soon as I asked a question, 5 seconds later they were replying, boom, boom, boom. And it just went off from there. You know, I was shocked because, you know, being from China, I thought, you know, most of the suppliers that I've hit up, they sort of take a while to reply, and then their replies, their grammar's not well, you know.
It's always an excuse.
What is it? So these guys, I hit them up straight away, and they were hitting me back, and it was awesome, you know, bouncing questions off each other, and then it really came about.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing as well, and that's a big thing, is like being proactive on business. Like, you know, if people are, you know, reaching out, get back to them. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of people, they say, oh, they want to do this. And I've even had it before, man, when like you're trying to collaborate, you're trying to make something happen, and, you know, they kind of slack on their part. Like, but for you, like you, mate, like we had this booked in like a week ago, like,
100%,
you know, and then
man.
a few things come up and you were keen as, bro.
Well,
I think it's more just about supporting everyone, getting behind people, you know, and pushing out your product, you know, whether that might be, you might be good at something totally different, but using it and getting something out of it is the most important, hey?
Nah, 100%, man. Yeah, obviously, when you reached down, when I seen your name from the ground up, it really connected with me, man, because I feel like that's where I came from, you know? I was in that mud, you know, I was stuck in there, and, you know, 10 years of slaving away, scaffolding, man, it really, you know, really got to me mentally, and I knew I had to get out, you know, I knew I belonged up there with, you know, other entrepreneurs doing big things, and, you know, it's still a really early stage for me, but of course, I know I'll get there one day if I just keep putting in that hard work and keeping consistent, and linking up with people like you to be able to tell my story, man.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, is like people putting in that first step, that's the most important, hey? Because, you know, a lot of people, the people that will watch this, they'll get stuck in that cycle of just life, and life gets too busy, and, you know, they just want to go that paycheck to paycheck, and it's the risk has the biggest reward, hey? You know, get in front of, like, I spoke about this on the last pod, but even getting in front of a camera for me was like totally new. You know, and even for you, like getting in a bit more of a spotlight, sometimes like you don't really like that so much, but it gets it out there, hey, and like it's something totally fresh.
100%. Well, lucky for me, I've always grown up in the church, you know. My mother always took me to church and stuff like that, and I was actually, you know, in the spotlight quite a bit. I would do a lot of performances on stage, you know, for church, and I just really felt like that was me, that was my calling, like I need to be up there, you know, doing something. And man, like now having my own business and being able to collaborate, being able to reach out to, you know, people and have my story heard is, you know, awesome opportunity. And man, I take it with both arms, you know.
Like, for sure.
Amazing, man.
How big was church in your life, bro, when you were growing up, like young, like massive for you, hey?
Yeah, it was huge, man. Like, to be honest, my father worked in FIFO for many years of my life, so it was only mum home, and, you know, it was sad to see just mum alone and stuff like that, but she always wanted us to go to church, so we always had to do that for her, you know. And
mate, honestly, like I love people from that culture. Like you see some of like the big churches and the big weddings and the big family. It's beautiful, eh? Like it's beautiful to see like the connection and support from family. Like that's like what drives small businesses and entrepreneurs on, hey? Like, you know, like you even touched on it really quick, like, you know, the biggest thing for you is doing it for your family. And that is honestly where the hustle comes from, is just wanting better. You know, because like I said, it's very easy to get stuck in that vicious cycle, and before you know it, 5 years has gone by, you're not doing nothing different, you know, and then you're still eating the same thing on Smoko, you know what I mean? Like, so for sure. Like, I'm super stoked to have you on, man, and it's hopefully man, make a sick episode, and for sure. Last thing really I want to touch on was really, if there was one question that for our next guest you wanted to be answered, like, did you have a question for our next guest?
Yeah, there's so many things, man.
Questions on
20
questions,
bro. But it's honestly, for me, my biggest thing with this entrepreneurship journey is, you know, like, might be odd, but it's the tax brackets and stuff, you know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, like even I had my trainer that was here last night, he's doing his own thing, steel fixing company in a Goldie, and I was trying to bite his ear off, you know, like, what's the go with the tax? Like, what do we have to, you know, because, man, Australia, man, I don't know what our government's up to, man.
They're living the life, eh?
Yeah, they're just taking all of our money, and, you know, it was a bit thing with me, like being a first-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right. So, yeah, if he has a good accountant, you know, let me use it.
And really, like, obviously you got Wavy Shades at the moment, and is like, where I know you touched on the future of Wavy Shades, but what's the future of you, bro? Like, you got any big other like businesses that you're going to be working on? Like, do you want to get to the point where you got multiple businesses?
Yeah.
Is that something you want to get to?
Definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, us as entrepreneurs, we only want to get better. You know, I feel like I'm blessed with this, you know, first business, Wavy Shades, and where it is now, you know, because, like this podcast, it's really from the ground up, man. These shades that, you know, I bought all these samples for, and now, you know, the real products here, and it's been awesome. But
what did the early stages of that looking like getting the samples, bro?
Oh, man,
that would have been crazy. Oh, really? Yeah. Would have been crazy.
I pretty much had this design, and I asked for it, and they just give me something from bloody Team. For
sure. Yeah, and when you got your first sale, bro, that must have been a crazy thing. Like, I know we touched on it, but we had Adam Sullivan. He just purchased 10 pairs to give away.
10 pairs.
Like, that's craziness. But was there, you know, what was your reaction when you got your first sale?
Man,
that would have been wild.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. You know, like, it was honestly the best feeling, you know, because all that hard work leading up to it, you know, and then being able to go live and just have people on there, you know, looking at your website and everything, you know, that whole moment was just really special to me, you know. It was pretty much like having one of my kids, you know. Like,
for sure. And it is people like, you know, I think collaborations, they are so important, and other business owners lifting others up with them, you know, and someone like obviously Adam doing what he's done for you, you know, even not a mentor, but you know, it's someone that you can really, you know, he knows what it's like to come from nothing, you know, and try and build something from the ground up, and you know, and that's just what it's about, isn't it? It's just trying to support each other. You know, 100%. bigger brands investing in the smaller brands can bring small brands up, eh?
100%, man, because Adam, really appreciate it, man. To see where you are now, it's honestly, you know, it's inspiring.
Inspirational,
like, you deserve it, man. You really put in that hard work, and you're showing all of us, you know, the blueprint, and it's awesome, you know. Like, I really feel like one day Wavy Shades and even this podcast will be up where, you know, he is at the moment, and
for sure,
you know, it's only about, like we keep saying, staying consistent, putting in, you know, that hard work, and collaborating with, you know, other business-minded people.
And social media is a massive thing nowadays too. I know we had a chat about it, like when we were out for a brekkie, and about AI and stuff. Like, that's massive. Like, there's so many tools nowadays to use to build stuff. You know, like social media is absolutely crazy. Like, everyone's got a Facebook or an Instagram, or like, you know, everyone's almost just a text message away, you know, and what I want to go on to your quick one next is, what's something you wish people understood about building a business from nothing? Like, I know you've spoken on the mindset, but is there something that you think of that people might misconcept or you know, something that's not so true about building it than what it really is?
Yeah, no, that's a tough question. I feel like you said, with AI, you know, it makes everything easier and stuff like that. So yeah, just for everyone that's not really using it, I feel like you need to make sure you use it now before, you know, in a few years later, it's going to be using us.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
A few people's jobs are going to get replaced,
100%.
Scaffolding might not be a manual thing, mate. It might be all done by robots.
Yeah, hopefully, man. So
Yeah, for sure. But now, bro, look, I'm gonna share the hell out of this product, bro, because I really do support it and it's solid. And yeah, if you're watching, obviously get behind it. If this is your style and this is, you know, something you need, because I think everyone needs some, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and it just helps everyone. And with the Aussie sun, bro, everyone needs a pair of sunnies.
Yeah, they do,
So,
guys.
Yeah. But no, it really does, man. Like, even seeing them for the first time today, you know, really represents where you're from. You know, it really represents who you are, not just as a brand, but, you know, telling people that you're proud of where you're from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%, man.
And that's the most important thing. And even on the lens, bro, like having the words, like, it's just perfect, eh? And they got a little flag. I'll do some close-up shots, bro, so I can tag them on. Yeah.
Sweet, bro. Yeah,
and I can just get some people to really have a look at them. But sure, yeah, no, mean, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah, is there anything else you want to sort of say to the people, bro?
Oh, man. Nah, just thank you all for, you know, showing love and, you know, listening and that. And, man, really hope you guys,
get onto Wavy Shades.
Ride this wave with me and, you know, support what I stand for. And,
for sure.
It's been a crazy journey, but, you know,
only on the come up, eh?
Yeah, only on the come up.
For sure. But yeah, guys, all the links for Wavy Shades will be down below. I've got a few posters already that we've collaborated with. We'll do a launch post as well. So yeah, hit the link, even if it's a follow or, you know, grabbing one pair of Wavy Shades. It's nearly Christmas soon. So, you know, get some people some Christmas presents and stuff. So
yeah,
man.
Summer's here, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah. I know. So yeah, it's getting warmer. That's when you know it's nearly Christmas, eh? But yeah, no, appreciate you coming on, bro. And yeah, for sure. Yeah, do obviously subscribe, like, all that stuff, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.